guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Emma Simone. So today I am obviously doing this Columbia look, which is inspired by Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is one of my favorite movies. So I'm just starting off with my foundation. I'm actually using a BB cream from Garnier, and I'm just buffing that into the skin like I normally would for any other day for my base makeup. So this is a good foundation for your look, and I'm just going to go for just this nice pale shade because Columbia isn't too tan. And I'm just buffing that all through into my skin, and then I'm going to be adding some concealer under my eyes. Again, just as normal, like my daily routine, just popping on a MAC concealer on the heavy dark spots and an e.l.f. concealer on the rest, and I'm just buffing that in with a Real Techniques buffing brush, and making a really nice looking face right there. So I'm just buffing that in again on both eyes. And then once I've buffed it all in, I sort of go over it with my fingers just to sort of pat it into the skin. And I'm going to set everything with my Stay Matte powder from Rimmel, I think it is. Yeah, Rimmel. And that is just a good starting base layer for this Columbia look. And so, we're moving on to eyebrows. So this is very tricky. There's a lot of tutorials online on YouTube on how to cover eyebrows. I'm just using the glue stick method. So I've already done one eyebrow here to a degree. So you're just going to get your glue stick, and yes, this is just an everyday glue stick, and I'm going to work it in the opposite direction that my hairs grow, just to ensure that the glue really gets down underneath all the roots of the hairs. And then I'm just going to brush it up, because you want to get your goal is to get your eyebrow hair as close to your skin as possible, and brushing it up seems to be the best way to do that. So once you put the glue all through your brow, I'm just getting a spoolie brush, which is just, you know, like an old mascara wand if you have one, a clean one obviously, and just really working those hairs and working them down into the skin so they're really flat against your forehead. And yes, it looks ridiculous, but it's worth it, I promise. So you're just going to do that, and then once it's fully glued down, you're going to get some powder, again just the same Rimmel powder, and I'm just setting the glue with the powder. And you might want to do this a couple of times, so alternating between glue and powder if you do have a thicker eyebrow, but my hairs are very fine, so they're not very thick. And then once you've done that, I'm just popping an orange layer of eyeshadow over the top. That's just going to create a base layer, and it's just going to help make it look a little bit more natural before you go ahead and pop on your concealer. So I'm just using a MAC concealer to go over that. I started off with my fingers, but then quickly realized that was a fail, so I started working upwards just like I was before with the glue. With a really flat brush, because I was sort of almost pulling the hairs away from my skin. So you live, you learn. There's plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube. I'm not the best at covering eyebrows, so I recommend you watch one. So here I'm just making sure it's all buffed into the skin, and I have pressed it down with a pressed loose powder just to make sure it's all set. And here I am creating Columbia's really high, thin eyebrows. So I'm just using an eyeliner pen, and I stuffed up at the end there, but not to worry. I'm just going to use a, little cotton pad thingy, cotton stick, that's what I want to look for, and just wiped it off and then set it with concealer again. So I wasn't happy with the colour of the eyebrow, so I'm just going back in with a lip pencil, which is a little bit more red, and just making those adjustments. Now this is just freehand, you're just going to have to eyeball it. It's very hard to explain, but if you do make a mistake, just wipe it off with the cotton bud and then powder it down and start again. It's not a big deal. Okay, and the cotton bud, obviously you'd have some sort of makeup remover on that. So here I am admiring my fancy new brows, just making little adjustments, so just have a good look at yourself and just see if you like the way they look and make those little adjustments. So a little bit first, don't go all in, just do bit by bit, slow and steady wins the race. So here I'm just popping on a pearlescent creamy white eyeshadow all the way up to my fake eyebrow. So I'm creating, I guess, a fake brow bone. So she does have quite shimmery pearlescent eyeshadow on most of her photos and in the movie. And then, again, you can see my little mistake there. Whoopsies. Oh well, I'm just using the eyeshadow to help cover it up as well. But I mean, Rocky Horror, they're not the neatest with the makeup anyway. It's kind of meant to be a little bit, haphazard. So I just rolled with it. So once you've got all your creamy eyeshadow all over your your brow bone. You're taking it all the way down to your natural brow bone as well as your fake one. And you're going to go in with a little bit of orange pearlescent eyeshadow. So this is sort of like an orangey, peachy colour. And I'm just outlining that inner corner there towards the fake eyebrow. This just adds some definition to the eye and helps make it look a bit more like an eye socket. And this is just the way she has her makeup in the movie, so I just copied a photograph sort of bit by bit. So this is the fun part. This is the eyeliner. It's super easy to do this because you're literally just getting your liquid eyeliner and filling your entire eyelid until the crease. Now I do have hooded eyes, so my crease is a little lower, so you'll notice if I look up, the eyeliner smudges onto the top there, see that? So I'm actually creating a fake lid basically and a fake crease, so I'm going all the way up to there. That's why I'm just letting it hit the top. So I'll fill in all of that. If you do have a bigger eye socket and you don't have hooded eyes, you just fill in until your natural crease. And then once you do that, you're just sort of rounding off the edge, so making it a nice round almondy shape, just sort of following the natural contour of your eye. And then the fun part, the flick. So I'm starting about 3/4 of the way out, just using the end of my fake eyebrow as a guide, so I'm just sort of pointing it towards there, and then making a little triangle shape that I can fill in, because it's much easier to make a triangle shape before you fill it in, just to make sure you're happy with it. And you're sort of leaving a little bit of a dip in the corner there. You'll notice it rounds off, goes in, and then up into the flick. I'm doing that on purpose because that's the way she does it. And then you're just outlining underneath your eye. So I'm just using a kohl eyeliner on my waterline because I can't stand having liquid liner anywhere near my waterline. And then filling out a little bit thicker with the liquid liner. That's what I wanted to say. So you're basically creating a big round cat eye, a big accentuated cat eye. And now I'm time for lashes. So I'm just blowing on the glue to make it a little bit tacky, and just popping on some Ardell eyelashes. These ones were a little bit haggity, so I kind of did that on purpose. So as you notice, my liner is starting to crease a little bit because it was quite a wet eyeliner. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to get some black eyeshadow, just a matte colour, and go over the top of my eyeliner to set it. So you might want to do that as well. And I've tight lined underneath my waterline on the top, and I'm just popping on some mascara to blend my blonde lashes to my black ones, my black fake ones, and blending that all in. And that is pretty much the eye look, guys. So we're moving on to the blush. She has some very overdramatic blush and contouring going on. So I've just got a red eyeshadow, so this isn't actually a blush. It really doesn't matter as long as you've got that shade. So I'm just following my natural cheekbone crease and just blending it all in and stopping it about halfway. And that's super easy. Easier than blending in natural blush, I reckon. And now I'm just going into the lips. I'm using the same pencil as I did for the eyebrows, and I'm just really accentuating my Cupid's bow because she has it quite exaggerated. And then just filling in the rest of my lips. I was going quite thin at the start, but that kind of started to look a bit like the Joker, so I ended up filling in with the lipstick later on and making them a little bit thicker, so thinner than usual, what my lips actually are, but still a little bit voluptuous, so I don't look like, you know, getting into clown territory. So this is my look, and I'm gonna pop on a wig. It's wig time, guys. This is just a cheap one and from a cheap shop because it really didn't matter. So I'm popping on my wig, getting that all settled. I'm gonna pin it down a little bit to help it make a little, make it a little bit shorter. Popping on a hat, popping on a jacket, and popping on a bow tie. And that is my finished Columbia look. So I hope you guys like it. I added a mole for effect. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!